Welcome back, my Alpha Squad, to some more Stanley Parable. Let's hop right in and, well, continue where we left off. Last time we saw the gym button and the hole. I wonder what we'll see this time. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Okay. No, can't see it anymore. Can't see a part of it. There we go. Confirm. Please adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. Ooh. Aren't dogs and cats supposed to hate each other? Aww, that's so cute. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Ooh. That's technically 9. I'm guessing that's 9. Confirm. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. No. Oh, where do you guys want to stop? About here. Which of the two made-up words below is most appealing to you? Ocuboinkle or scrumtush? Ocuboinkle. Please don't adjust the slider. You know what the time is right now? Yes. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? Yes. What is the time anyway? Yes. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? I don't know, I'm a pretty open book, so... Help. Yes. Will he come back to visit me? Yes. Begin the game. The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked...
Wait, what? No! Take me back to...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Narrator,
simply
not now.
missed a
We
memo.
need to go back to the other place. Should I have stayed there? Seems like it. There we go.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Let's
Yes,
go.
I have something very exciting to show you.
I don't want the videos to be too long, but apparently I need to go through the entire thing at a time. Which is kind of annoying, but it's okay, I guess.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Yes,
you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Please, no screenshots. Okay.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons, but I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Let's go Get Well Someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
You bastard.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Stanley Parable 2, free, new and easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. It just works. Ooh. Free achievement, get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now. Let's see.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Oh, let's go.
You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature.
I'm very dissatisfied now.
We hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Please. You ass. Oh well. Not much we can do about that.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collectibles. Ooh.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the
that's
Stanley
cool.
Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
It's kind of creepy, but I'm down for it. Hey, let's go. A little Stanley. Now what?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
You say so. Oh, it's the jump circle. Let's go.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Oh, you bastard.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Ah, that's just mean. That's so mean. Ooh, merch. The end is never the end is never the end again. What's up here? The bucket. Good. The Stanley Parable 2 Reassurance Bucket. New feature. Okay.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who
Where's the
played
bucket,
it.
man?
Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
It's a bucket.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I get to keep the bucket? Let's go! Is that everything?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
The epilogue, I've seen that. I guess I've seen everything.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2...
I don't know, I had the Sims Ultra Deluxe version,
right
so,
there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress. All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I think I've just seen everything, so, New mug. Ooh. An auditorium?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay. Is this just like concept
I mean, there's
art
potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Ooh.
Who am I kidding, Stanley?
There's 2 holes.
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait.
I guess.
Maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly... I suppose
but then it'd be DLC,
would need
not a new game.
Really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right,
we're ripping people now?
Go ahead. Take a look.
The end is never the end is never the end. The Stanley Parable 2. Let's go. The end is never 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 the end. Click to skip. Okay, I guess. Do I have my bucket? No, I don't.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yep,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh! You're blocking. The bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I'm happy now. I have my bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yes.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Okay, let's go.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I want the collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley.
That's all I need.
I tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I do. Guess I still can't go to the floor, but I can go here. Wait, where am I now? Hello? That's a lot of tapes. This is a whole lot of nothing. Endless. Oh, hello.
Okay.
Narrator sounds.
This is day number 295. Tape number. I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
What's wrong with the bucket?
Sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling.
Okay.
And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it.
It's a bucket.
Still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in
Anyone
my
notice we're
hands.
playing it in reverse?
Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes.
Oh?
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
All this because of the bucket? Wait, what? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe I should leave the bucket? Nah.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to
there?
the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have
Apparently
alarmed him,
not.
of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless...
I don't know.
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
I don't know if I trust you. But I have my bucket.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Okay.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay, but come on, that's cheating.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Wait, what?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
I wanted to say no, but I knew he was trying to catch me out.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Okay.
Is this a bucket?
No, it's the tractor again.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Wait, what?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Wait, what? That's not fair.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Can I go somewhere else? I guess not. Can I leave? Hello?
Yes, Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley,
No.
I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay,
No.
here we go.
No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
My
was everything a
bucket.
bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Yes.
My God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue.
Okay.
But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
I can only imagine.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Do I take the bucket? Yeah.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I honestly don't care.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Okay.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Yes.
Now pick up the phone.
Hello.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
Hey,
And
Bucky.
then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Hello, Stanley, it's me, your bucket. Press N to take me with you, to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't
Bucky.
literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
If you say so.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal
I have
object?
a pretty fancy home.
I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Sunset.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's
No,
it. It
it's
doesn't
bucket.
do anything
Bucket
else.
good. Press K for us. Yes. Bucket is good. Loud man is
You
bad.
see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to.
See,
now
you're
all he
just
cares
jealous
about is
now.
this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
You gave it to me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You just want it for yourself.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid.
See,
Like
you're
it would
just
be
jealous.
better at
You
moving
want
an
my
amount
bucket.
of water from one room to another.
It's my bucket. It's mine.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
It's my
Why
bucket.
do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because it's my bucket.
Oh no, I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's
Wait,
wrong with
what?
me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing.
I'm starting
Yes.
to feel
The
awkward
bucket
about
could
this
tell me
whole
what to
situation.
do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
It's mine. Not yours. It's my bucket. Yes, I'll go back to work. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Oh well.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I haven't done this part yet.
Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
We care about you. Wait, what?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
Okay.
Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't
it's
you want
my
another
bucket.
story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played
Okay.
some silly music as well. Now,
Wait a
this
minute.
is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Wait, what?
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
You're not taking my bucket. I wouldn't allow it.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Wait, what?
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
How do I turn this off?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
I can't hear you, man.
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable character like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
My eyes! Bruh.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye,
Bro, what the hell?
friend. For the moment in time that you were here,
This hell
you
feels
were
like hell.
magnificent.
What the hell just happened? Literally, what the hell happened? Bruh. What happens if I feed it the bucket though? I guess we can always check. Why are you quiet?
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
I want to see what
Stanley
happened
took the
to
door on his
be
left
destroyed
to
the
go,
bucket.
and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
I don't care.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
Yeah.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
It blows up the entire universe.
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop... Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it for the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and
trying to. Bruh. It wouldn't let me. You're asking me to do something I'm literally incapable of doing? That's just not fair.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, Telsa.
So we can't destroy the bucket. That is fine. Wait, what?
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
To do a different path.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Yep, there will be a reward for finding them all. Is there one here? Trust the completionist instinct. Is it in the broom closet?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Another miniature Stanley figure.
Yay!
This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
That sounds
Another
like a
Stanlerine under your belt.
Go this way, or I could actually go upstairs to the office, which is the simplest path. Let's just go to the office. Aha! We found another one.
I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1?
How about Stanables?
I'm sure it will come to me.
Like Stan Collectibles, Stanables. I like that idea. Let's do this one again. Been a while. Okay, let's see.
Stepping into his
What was
manager's
the code
office,
again?
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest
What's
of
the
hours,
code again?
did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Just give me
It
the
would
code.
be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Anything? Hello.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anmarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anmarines. None of us can.
Technically, if I erase all game, yeah, we can. I wonder where the last one will be though. Because I feel like we've been everywhere.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty,
Yet
he
you
would
tried
be
to destroy
right.
the bucket just in
The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that
Nope,
read
I'm trying to escape.
Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
So you say.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yeah, no.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
If you say so. Geronimo! Okay, let's do this. Yeah, the Crusher, yet again.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
What do you mean? It gave
puts
me a
the
lot of
mind
joy.
and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Goodbye.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Who are you?
In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Wait, what? Okay.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
So everything's about the bucket now. What about me? Was I here last time?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Wait, what? Whoa. This is cool. Okay, so that was just
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is
So
man who should kneel before the bucket.
Give me the bucket. Did I get the bucket?
But there is something we
Or
can
did I
do.
kick the bucket?
Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
And that would be...
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
But the bucket dies too, does it not? At least I think it does. Yep, it died too. There's still a lot more we can explore, so if you enjoyed everything we did here, please leave a like, and if you don't want to miss anything, become a part of the Alpha Squad and subscribe, and I'll see everyone next time.